bikini.
I'm gonna let you have it. Let's have a kiki. I wanna have a kiki.
She's been a bitch tonight.
Let's have a kiki.
We are gonna serve
And work and turn and honey.
Lord, I can hardly be bothered with this. Hello, Survivor Buffs. It is me, Toby, and I am here with my recap of episodes 7 and 6 of Survivor CARAMOAN, Fans vs. Favorites 2, The Two Towers, for the Buff Headwear Company. And this episode, number 7, much like number 6 last week that I didn't do a video recap for, was pretty boring. And they're very similar to each other. But I thought that, you know what, I'm going to have fun anyway. I'm still going to have fun. And so even though this thing was about as dull as Norah Jones singing a Sarah McLachlan song, I was able to find some little nuggets of excitement amongst this episode, amongst the many, many, many nuggets and rocks of... So here we go. First of all, let's talk about people that are actually playing the game. We're in this weird transitional place. Clearly the favorites outnumber the fans on both of those tribes that have been reshuffled. So it's kind of like, you know, elimination, just eliminating the fans one by one. But it's also time for them to scramble and get in there and see also where the other lines are breaking down. So people that are really playing the game, or that are, you know, really interesting at least to watch, are, first of all, Malcolm. Malcolm, of course, is playing the game. He's thinking ahead to the merge, which we know is coming up next week. And he realizes that the 4 alpha males that he's, you know, bonded with are going to be out. But if he can get them together, maybe they can do something. You know, I don't know what that is, but he at least is thinking and getting that going, even while he's drunken caffeine and kissing everybody on the tribe. So thank God Malcolm's still thinking strategy. Andrea thinks she's thinking strategy, but she's, you know. Andrea plays the game like too hard. And it doesn't need to. She needs to like sit back a little bit and sit down, and maybe sit down off stage somewhere. That'd be great. Cochran is interesting. This is a different Cochran, again, I say, than the one we saw when he first came out here. He is, of course, more confident, and it's interesting how so many of these people are much more confident than they were their first seasons. But Cochran is great because Cochran is a good analyzer of what's going on. And he's actually getting a lot more screen time. I will say this, they did not put him in between those little rocks so that like his head sticks out, so he looks like a Quado. That's weird. But he's also someone that Philip confides in. Philip confides in him and Dawn. Like he and Dawn have to deal with Philip so much, but Cochran just does better interviews, and Dawn just always says she's gonna cry. Cochran is doing well, and I'm excited. I'm a fan of his, and so and also I replied to a tweet he put out, and he liked my reply, and so I did have a super geeky Survivor like freak out moment. I got that he favorited my tweet. So thanks, Cochran, and yeah, I'm a dork. I am. I admit it, and you know what? Doesn't matter. I love her Sunggie. So the two people who are playing the game who really dominated the narrative in this past episode are Corinne and Philip. And, you know, they want each other out, of course. And I can't argue with Corinne. I want Philip out, too. I've wanted him out since day one. I wanted him out since the last season. He's annoying, and he's now hurting them in challenges, not even helping them. His speaking is ridiculous. His phrases are so stupid. Like, he's like, I'm known for my courage of a lion and determination of a gorilla. That's not a thing. Determination of a gorilla? Like, what is that? I'm known for my efforts of a warthog and my, you know, yell of a banshee. What the heck? Like, there's nothing. It's not a thing. Like, they're just make-up animals. And then he's like, he says, I've had, you know, the experience of playing with one of the smartest players I've ever played with. What the hell is that? What is that? What is that? And then he talks about, he says, you know, Boston Rob, and I know what BR would say. I thought he said B. Arthur. So then I was like, why is B. Arthur on Survivor? And then I thought, what if B. Arthur was on Survivor? That would be kind of cool. What would she do? She'd be like, Shady Pines, Ma. Her and Tasha the Bushman, like, married together. She'd be making shelter. Picture Maude. Maude, Dorothy on Survivor. And add to that, the image of my new drag alter ego, Tubby Lunchbox. Oh yes. Oh yes. Corinne, that was great. But she called him a tubby lunchbox. Said she ain't seen an ab muscle, ain't seen a pectoral. See, Philip does not realize that what he has done now is he has tried to upset the bond that exists between a fruit fly and a gay. It is a bond that lasts forever. It is a bond that is unbreakable. It is a bond that has gone through time. It is a bond that has lasted through the Middle Ages, through the Industrial Revolution. It is a bond that has gone through civil rights, through New Coke, through shoulder pads in the 80s. This bond is there to stay. And Philip can try to break it, but it is not going to work. Because, one or the other is going to queen out on him and going to kick his ass. And unless it's an arm wrestling contest, he's going to lose. Thank God. Anyway, I'm loving the fruit fly gay bond. I mean, you know, the gay is kind of boring, but the fruit fly is hilarious. And, yeah, so I will see how that goes. You know, Cochran was setting it up to be this big epic battle, but we'll see what happens once the tribes merge next week. Now, first of all, let's talk about the Survivor Cafe. Who wants a coffee bar in the middle of the tropics when you just went running around all the time? That's the worst reward challenge ever. No, the worst reward challenge when they have to watch those movies like Jack and Jill or the Gulliver's Travel, the Jack Black one. No, that's like actually the worst. But the second worst is this stupid cafe, and he's like, and Jeff's like, ooh, and there's brownies, and they're like, and they start freaking out, like Oprah has just given them a freaking car. They're like, we've got brownies. They're like, brownies, really brownies and croissants. Nobody ever freaked out about a croissant. Nobody freaked out about a croissant. Please. A croissant sandwich, maybe, but not just a croissant. And Brenda is losing her mind. I mean, is she homeless? Is she not eating at home? She is going crazy. Then doesn't even be in the challenge. And she sits there making comments. Just like, that seems like a strange strategy. She's like, it's a strange strategy. Like, what? Who is she? She's like friggin' Ed McMahon over there on the side. Then, once Dawn leaves the challenge early, she's all doing a play-by-play, like Howard Cosell, but like lame. And she's like, they're over there, they're catching up, Really? They've been catching up since the beginning. You're on the friggin' Becal tribe. The Goda tribe's always catching up. Come on. I mean, the people on the side should just simmer down and get back to their benches and let Jeff do the play-by-play. One person doing it is annoying enough. Also giving us play-by-play during the season, during the episode, was, of course, Captain Obvious. And today's lesson from Ronald was that reward time, that's time spent bonding with your tribe. Wow. Let me just take a moment. I hope he better pen his memoirs. I mean, that is just good stuff. Good stuff. Meanwhile, Reynolds totally got played by Malcolm and decided to tell him all about the idol. I mean, that man cannot keep a secret. That man keeps secrets like Taylor Swift keeps secrets. I mean, come on. Reynolds just tells everybody everything. Goodness gracious. I don't know. We didn't hear from a lot of people this episode, and that was fine. Jeff did point out that Eric is arguably the fittest person on their tribe, so he's now complimented all of the men on that tribe for being physically fit, and that makes him kind of a man slut, but it's Jeff Probst, so I love him anyway. Which leads us to Laura, who got voted out. And you might not have noticed, because it's Laura. Right? Yeah, literally, I had to check to see that was her name. Laura is so boring that that Cochran said that she couldn't even call her Shades of Vanilla personality because it was insulting to Vanilla. Like, she's so boring. She's like, she's as boring as like an MIT graduate talking to drying paint. That's exactly like how boring she is. Her voice is low and boring, and she's a race car driver. But like, I think they're not using those words correctly because there's no way she's doing that exciting of a job. She is just really bad, and Cochran finally said it. Cochran finally just let it out and said she's not important. She has some strategy. She has one strategy. What was your strategy? To make everyone fall asleep while they're talking to you until they forget to vote for you? Because you were boring. But the one thing is, like, they could have done something and gotten Philip out. Those two, it was like, when there was that division. So those fans that are on that tribe that are getting voted out, they're not really doing anything, and they're silly. They need to go. I mean, at least the fans over, on the like good tribe are like the active fans that are like trying to participate and make things happen. So that's good. Get rid of deadweight. I'm over it. So that's the episode. We of course have a wearer of the week, and that wearer of the week is from last week. It's actually the person voted out last week, who was Matt, who just when it was time to trade those tribal buffs, took a long time to put his on. I mean, it was like a 3-act play putting that thing on. Just come on, let's go, hurry up, we gotta vote you out. Anyway, Matt was our wearer of the week. Matt's also gone. That's about all I got. I think there's a merge next week, so it's gotta be more exciting. But if nothing else, we at least got to meet B. Arthur and Tubby Lunchbox, and they'll be on tour together. You can catch them at the Rainbow Room in Manhattan next week. Anyway, I will see you next week for a hopefully more exciting Good Survivor. And in the meantime, you know what? Just
Oh, what a wonderful Kiki.